always undercover. Bek Lover, that's word to your mother. Bek Lover, this is no other. Bek Lover, he'll always be your brother.
Oh, welcome to another episode of the Bek Lover podcast. There's so much going on. It's like I can't not be on the air. I gotta be on the air. We got one of the biggest cover-ups in the history of the world going on right now. Today we're jumping into the Epstein cover-up. Massive cover-up. I've been making the rounds in the podcast world. I just finished my podcast yesterday with David Nino Rodriguez, former heavyweight boxing champion of the world. I was on his channel, Nino's Corner. You can go and check out that interview on his YouTube channel or anywhere podcasts are received. It's under the live tab on his channel. I just finished another podcast with Tyson Hockley. We spoke about everything that's going on in the world. We're about to approach 100,000 subscribers on this channel. I want to thank all of you that have been in the trenches for me since day one. We've had massive success. We're in the top 2% of all podcasts on earth. With no sponsorship, no one buys and owns me like the president, like the lobbies. No one owns me yet. But maybe if I start advertising trips to different countries and perfumes and stuff, then maybe someone does. But I'll never sell out politically. I can promise you that much. Not going to be like Dan Bongino and Pam Bondi and all these fake-ass people who talked a really good game when they were podcasters. I mean, they talked a really good game. And now they're doing shit. But I'm going to get into a few things I think a lot of people keep overlooking. I think that are very important to explain when it comes to the whole Epstein thing and how really this could be a slam dunk for anybody that wants to prosecute it. But they don't want to. You know, they don't want to. It's a big cover up. It's a big club, in the great words of George Carlin. And me and you, my friends, we're not in it. So I cannot believe the world we're living in, but I can. I cannot believe the world we're living in, but I can. Because I didn't expect anybody to come and save us. And I'm actually viral for that very exact expression. When Trump was running for the second time and I said, hey, bro, nobody's coming to save us. God is allowing you to see the evil and you must decide which side of history you're going to be on. The reason this country and this nation is where it is and where most countries are being destroyed by corruption, by these shadowy, roguey, evil people that run the world from behind a curtain, is because most people are not willing to put their own ass on the line to save the world. That's why people love movies about superheroes. You have these selfless people who will pay by any price. Freedom is not free, my friends. And if you're willing to allow corruption to rule you, you as a regular citizen, forget it, you don't deserve to be free. Every regime that was ever overthrown wasn't overthrown by a couple of people. It was by the masses saying, you know what? I've had enough of this stench. I'd rather die than live another day under your rule. And until people feel that the system is still working for them, then they will be obedient. And they will allow corruption and stench and bribery and illegal activities to continue. And you have started to see now the end of what this type of corruption looks like, because your lives are starting to pay the price for this type of corruption. But I fear your children may pay with their lives very soon, the way the drums of war are beating around the world. And if you've ever needed proof that we've been infiltrated, it is definitely the Epstein saga that proves to me that this country has been infiltrated. I don't give a shit. It is the truth. It is the simple, undeniable truth. Before I show you video clips of Pam Bondi talking about the client list, it's on her desk. And Kash Patel talking about it. And Dan Bongino, these, in my opinion, fucking traitors to the whole movement that they claim to be a part of, sucking on Donald Trump's cock for years, and that they're going to do the right thing and they're going to tell us the truth. Well, that moment has come, my friends, and it is gone. And it's not because, as David Nino Rodriguez said on his podcast yesterday. And I'm not bashing the brother because I love him and he's got a good heart and he has an awesome audience. But he's still believing in what a lot of Q people believed. That JFK Jr. is alive. JFK, you know, his son is alive. He's coming back. I mean, the shit that people wanted to believe. It's. I'm not making fun of them. It's sad because that's how desperate people have become, that we want to believe in these fairy tales because we can see how corrupt our nation has become. We can literally see it. We can smell it. We can feel it. We are living in it. We feel this low vibrational energy in our once vibrant cities. Kind of like when you know the end is near. You know, like a premonition, like something's fucking wrong. And I think I feel like a Roman citizen felt right before the fall of Rome. That's kind of what it feels like. So let me tell you, unless I see some miracle. Now, do I understand that there's a lot of very high profile people involved and it's very difficult to prosecute these types of cases? Well, since I didn't finish law school, but I did finish college and I got half a brain, let me teach you how this whole thing can unfold pretty quickly. And they start falling down like dominoes. Are you ready? I'm going to solve the Epstein case very quickly. Like, you don't even need a PhD in law to solve this thing. Because what do most of these scumbags do? Which is why they all unalive themselves, because the minute they get caught, they're going to bring everybody else down with them. So they miraculously unalive themselves, all of them. They all seem to just unalive instantly the minute they get caught because they're going to throw the rest of these people under the bus. So here, let me show you how simple this case is to fix. Are you ready? Here we go. Go to Google and type in, is it illegal to not report child abuse in the USA? Yes, in the United States, failing to report suspected abuse or neglect can be illegal, especially for individuals who are mandated reporters. Mandated reporters include teachers, social workers, healthcare professionals, law enforcement officers, members of the clergy, child care providers. Many states impose financial penalties for failing to report suspected child abuse. Depending on the severity of the abuse and the state's laws, individuals could face imprisonment. That means if I know a child is being hurt or used or physically touched or abused, and I don't report it, I can go to jail and be fined or both. You want to solve the Epstein crime? Let's go to the wife of one of the most powerful senators in the world at the time, who almost became the next president of the United States of America, the wife of John McCain, one of the most powerful people on earth, the wife of now passed away John McCain, Cindy McCain, admits in front of the whole world that her and everyone in Capitol Hill knew what was going on. They all knew, which means there's no good side. He was Republican. This is not just a left issue. Both sides are compromised by whatever operation Epstein was. And I think we all starting to know what it really was. You want the chips to unravel? Arrest Cindy McCain for violating these state and federal laws. Here's what she said in her own words.
Future somehow.
You know, it's like everything. It hides in plain sight. Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing. But we had no one that was, legal aspect that would go after him. They were afraid of him. For whatever reason, they were afraid of him.
This is the wife of a man who almost became the president of the United States of America, Republican nominee, saying we all knew, including her husband. That's a crime. And what can make people of that caliber scared? Think about this. You don't need any other clips. I don't need the list. I don't need to hear from Pam Bondi or anyone else. I'm going to listen to this senator's wife, to this almost president of the United States of America, one of the most respected candidates in the history of the U.S. Military, served, right? Injured in combat. She's sitting here telling you in front of the whole world, no one's investigating her. She's not on trial, and she admits of her own volition. We all knew about it. We all knew what he was doing. But for whatever reason, no one would go after him legally. Everyone was scared of him. That sounds like an international operation to me. That sounds like people of a high caliber who are compromised, who if they open their mouths, they're going to be included in that. That sounds like it was a big cover-up on Capitol Hill. That sounds like it doesn't matter if it was a Republican or a Democrat, is what it sounds like to me. It sounds like our country's been fucking infiltrated, is what it sounds like. Infiltrated. Infiltrated. There's no one coming to save you, Americans. Not a Republican, not a Democrat, not fucking Trump, not Pam Bondi, not Kash Patel. No one's coming. And I've been saying it for years. No one's coming to save you. Senators were scared to talk about this and they knew the truth. Cindy McCain said it. Listen to her words. And you think someone's coming? There's some grand master plan?
All of a sudden, someone said, BS. We're not afraid of you anymore, and what you're doing is not only wrong, it's illegal, it's, you know, all those things. It's like a house of cards now. It's going to start tumbling, believe me. And these guys, if they don't leave the country, number one, they're going to get caught, and they're going and they, not only will they get caught, but they're going to be made examples of. And that's
not one, none of them. As a matter of fact, the woman who was brave enough to come forward just quote unquote took her own life when she said 1,000 times, I will never do it. I will never take my life. And last month, we got reports that she did. Jeffrey, or whatever her name, I can't even say it right. I can never say it. Okay, let's pull the damn article up. Virginia, what was her name? There you go. Okay? You really think that that's what happened? Huh? This woman gave her life to bring us the truth, and we've failed her. Not the senators, not the Congress. They're all compromised, most of them. Me and you as fellow Americans, because we're stuck on this white-black shit, this gay-straight shit, this Muslim-Christian shit, this blue and red shit, this woke and not woke bullshit, that these people are committing crimes against humanity right in front of our face. Our country has been infiltrated. Infiltrated. And to those of you that live outside of the U.S., most Americans are waking up, and we know that there's something wrong in our government. Epstein is the cherry on the sundae, the tip of the iceberg, the tip of the spear. So I want to repeat this again because it's important. In America, it is a crime to know that children are being harmed, whether it be physically, mentally, or sexually. And you, as an adult, do not report these crimes, let alone that you work for the government and do not report these crimes. Let alone that your husband was one of the most powerful senators in the world, that you all knew what he was doing, but for whatever reason, you guys were scared to come forward. What would make one of the most powerful senators, protected by the Secret Service, scared to come forward about a pedophile group? What could it be other than intelligence threatening their fucking lives?
Culture and what they believe and how their society is operated, bringing in, or if it's a different country, or if it's in.
Let's pull this clip again.
The perception between a lot of young people is that there is an untouchable ring of governmental and economic elites in this country that not only benefit, like she mentioned, but actively participate in sex trafficking. Jeffrey Epstein was an example. Robert Kraft was.
Listen to what she says next. Listen to what she says next.
Arrested not far from here on trafficking charges. And so we, in terms of this as a grassroots movement to push to combat against this issue, are these power players a priority for us right now? Can we even touch them? Or is this a pipe dream that we need to address in the future somehow?
You know, it's like everything. You know, it hides in plain sight. Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing. But we had no one.
This is the wife of one of the most powerful people in American politics telling you, we all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing. But for whatever reason, we wouldn't go after him. My husband, who almost became president, was scared to go after him. Who was backing this motherfucker? Huh? Who was behind him? I think we all know. All of a sudden, FBI reports there's nothing, case closed. Next day, Benjamin Netanyahu is nominating Donald Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. They wonder where all these conspiracies come from. They wonder why people think the way they do. Here's Tucker Carlson, okay?
I never thought that I would be offering an apology to Jeffrey Epstein. I think of all the times I've maligned that guy, all the times I've accused him of crimes, of blackmailing people, of trafficking children to powerful figures around the world on behalf of global intel services. And then I learned yesterday from Attorney General Pam Bondi, that's totally untrue.
Yes, yeah.
The guy killed himself after 36 days in prison for no reason. He was a billionaire. He had no clients. He'd done nothing wrong other than get like naughty massages 20 years before. And the guy killed himself, another pointless death. And then his best friend, former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, doing 20 years in prison for no crime. There are no victims.
Yes, it's a victimless crime. They're obviously persecuted by the state.
Yes.
They're political prisoners, really. It's The Hague should come in and do an investigation, or we're watching one of the most systematic government cover-ups of all time.
Biggest cover-up in our recent history. Probably second after JFK, why he was taken out. We must not let this story go. We must not let them bury this. We must demand justice. The problem, we don't get justice, we don't shut the system down. We don't have leaders that are willing to lose their lives and go to jail to speak the truth, to tell the American people what really happened. You see Dan Bongino talking, he's like a little bitch. He lost his courage. He had a big fucking mouth before he went into office. He had a big mouth as a podcaster. And he looks terrified to talk. He can't hold it in. His face looks horrific. Let's pull up some clips of his ass. The man who betrayed all of us, along with Trump. But I don't put my faith in men. You know, I don't. Because I don't think we deserve to be saved.
Now to the breaking
Let's
news.
see what he
Official
said here.
department
Let's go.
released
Let's go.
upset
Let's
of
go.
no one.
Let's see if I can find when Dan Bongini talks. Should be ashamed of himself. And Pam Bondi. And all of them, bro. And Kash Patel. All talking about how they're going to bring this to light. We're going to bring the list. Then you have DC Drano and all these right-winged clowns holding binders outside like they got the truth. We got the truth. You can see Trump's promising us the truth. Nothing. Look at him.
Point on the Epstein case. And there's going to be a disclosure on this coming shortly. We are working through there is video. That is something the public does not.
There's video of him killing himself.
No, not the actual act, but the entire MCC Bay, it was only one camera. There's video that when you look at the video, and we will release, that's what's taken a while on this, we are working on cleaning it up to make sure.
Yeah, they have to clean it up, make sure a minute's missing, because that's the news we got today. There's 1 minute missing from the whole Epstein video. I wonder what happened in that minute, you know? Really wonder what happened in that minute. Why do you need to work on it? Release the video. Why does it take months if you have it?
Make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans.
Yeah, sure.
You're going to see there's no one there but him.
Yeah.
Right. There's just nobody there. So I say to people all the time, if you have a tip, let us know. But there's no...
I mean, even if no one comes, is it that hard to put poison in the guy's food or his water? No, it's not. I mean, none of that shit impresses me. The guy was taken out. The guy didn't take his own life. They were scared he's going to rat them all out because that's what they do. These bastards are all about self-preservation. They all seem to meet the same fate. They take their own lives. I mean, how many coincidences are coincident? That's the world we're living in, my friends. That's the world we're living in. Today they bring it up again because they think we're going to just stop. You can't stop. You must keep demanding truth on this. But there's never going to come. Here's Trump being asked about
one of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the staff?
Yeah, sure.
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
Yes, we're still talking about this pussy-grabbing creep, you creep. Yes, because we believe it was an international operation that compromised all of the politicians. To refresh your memory, that's why Cindy McCain, the wife of one of the most powerful senators, said, for whatever reason, nobody would go after him. They were scared. We want to know what made so many senators scared. We want to know what made so many Congress people scared. We want to know what made almost a future president terrified to talk about it or bring it to attention, even though it's illegal to know about this and not report it. Yeah, we want to fucking know on a plane that housed presidents, including you. We want to know about a plane that flew presidents and the head of CEOs of companies, the most powerful people in the world, to a place where everybody knew what was going on, but everybody was scared to talk about it. We want to know, yeah, because we want to realize how bad we've been infiltrated. You fucking rats, you scumbags, both sides of the aisle.
That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time? And do you
waste the fucking time? How does someone like this get so close to so many people that are important in our government? Explain that to us. It's not a waste of time. It's the question that unlocks everything. It's the most important thing we should be talking about. How the fuck were so many people in our own government scared to come forward based on Cindy McCain's words? That's what we need to know. How were so many people afraid and terrified in the U.S. government knowing that this man was doing what he was doing? You explain that to us, and then maybe we'll let it go.
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration.
The internet, internet will not forget. The internet is on fire right now. If we go to Explore and we look at trending, Epstein's the #1 topic. The #1 topic on X, okay? And keep it there. Keep retweeting. Keep reposting. Keep tagging these scumbags. We must not forget what happened here. There she is. Everybody wants to know. Let's read some of these random tweets. You MAGAs are getting what you voted for. Bloated them spending bills, and we're all still talking about this on Epstein. Anua party. Cover up. The cover up is massive. You could probably ask Elon, since he probably knew Epstein and went to his billionaire dinners. Allegations of Epstein's abuse occurred from 1994 to 2002. The United States presidents since 1994 based on their terms in office. Okay, they're all there. Elon, can you find a way to access the Epstein Files? I mean, this is every couple of seconds. We will not let this go. I was taught to follow patterns. Trump's many phone numbers in Epstein's black book, messages from Trump to Epstein, and there are 7 times on his flight log and numerous pics of them partying together. Not even going to mention Epstein's under Trump watch. There's his name. Okay? The internet is not going to let this go. What do you think the truth is? Do you think the president's compromised in those files? Seems like it, doesn't it? It really does. Ghislaine Maxwell, you've never seen a video or picture of her, even during her trial. They'll show you, they didn't show us anything of Diddy, but not even, like, I mean, this is just crazy, bro. It's like they just tell you something, like, okay, accept it, and that's it, and fuck your intelligence that God gave you. Fuck the fact you heard Pam Bondi talking about it, this one talking about it, Dan Bongino talking about it, Kash Patel talking about it, all the right-wing influencers holding the binders up in the air. No, you guys are delusional. You know? We are living in a sick time and a sick world. I don't even feel like talking about anything else. Okay?
Make sure he was alive. If the argument they're making is that nobody went in or out, well, then the suspects are going to be the prison guards and the paramedics, right?
It's Tim
Not
Pool.
to mention the video they just released has a minute missing, and you see people come and go.
Yeah, there are a lot of irregularities. The guards were indicted and prosecuted, but ultimately I don't think they faced major repercussions for that. You know, the oopsie there. There's what they expect is, and lawyers do this all the time. If you're a lawyer, you know these tricks. The trick of the trade is you always want, lawyers always want people to draw false inferences. So they'll say, I was at Tim's house and I saw something, you know, scandalous. But I don't mention I saw it after I left Tim's house. I just say, well, I mean, I was at Tim's house, and then I saw, somebody tied up in the trunk of a car. It's like, well, no, but that was a week later. And then you expect people to infer falsely. That's what's happening here is, well, we don't have any files. Oh, that must mean, because then people go, oh, that must mean the files were destroyed or the files never existed. No. I do not have any files. I know where to look for them. I do know that I've offered repeatedly to bring in a team of people, active lawyers, to run through all the files. I do know that everybody and their mother, from the New York Times, the Washington Post, to you, to Daily Wire, to Candace, bring everybody in, make them, and I said this, so this is not stuff that we just came up with today. I go make everybody sign an NDA that they will not disclose the names of any victims or alleged victims. Otherwise, make everybody compete for a scoop. Man, it'd be a feeding frenzy, right? And then you'd have every angle covered. You couldn't say, oh, Daily Wire, they're covering up, they're covering up things. You have everybody in there. Why not do that? Right. So you have to look at what they're not doing to fully interrogate the Epstein case and the files.
So,
I mean, literally the whole world is talking about this, man. The whole entire world. Drop a comment. What do you think happened? What do you think's really going on? Who's really behind the whole Epstein saga? If I had to lean, I would lean towards him being a double agent for our three-letter agency and for the Mossad. That's what I think. I think it was used as a honeypot to blackmail powerful people to do whatever they want them to do or expose them. Now, there is a small chance the president may be using this list of people to get them to vote for things he wants to do. I don't know. That's what Nino thinks. That's a very small chance. I don't lean towards that. I hope that that's what it is. Otherwise, we're on our own, my friends. You're not getting what you thought you were getting when you voted for the orange man. People still believe. They still believe that he's going to come and save the world. And there's going to be military tribunals and we're going to be freed and liberated because we deserve it. Because we, the people, can't even figure out if a man's a man, a woman's a woman. We deserve to be saved. No, we don't. We don't deserve shit. God is giving you a chance to see how evil the stench is, to wake the fuck up before he destroys this nation, as he's destroyed many nations before, that were just as powerful, if not even more powerful during their time. He destroyed Egypt, Rome, you name it. They thought they were the shit too. They thought they were untouchable, and they were corrupt and disgusting, and we are on the same trajectory spiritually. No one, my friends, is coming to save us. We are the ones that must push against corruption and evil and stand up for the truth, even if it costs us our lives. We do not deserve to be saved. Virginia Jeffrey lost her fucking life to come forward. Without her, we would have never known about this. She gave her life. She is a patriot. She is a hero. She should be prayed for. She gave her life for you to know the truth of just how dark and how far this web of evil flows and entangles almost every politician there is, to the point where even Cindy McCain's husband, one of the most powerful senators in the country's history, was scared to come forward.
It's usually a horrific story, and it's one that you'll never forget.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please.
Hi, my name is Sebastian.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you
Sorry.
both so much for your work. Mrs. McCain, thank you so much for your work with the Institute and for coming here, talking to us. So I'm going to shoot straight. The perception between a lot of young people is that there is an untouchable ring of governmental and...
They are untouchable for now.
And the economic elites in this country that not only benefit, like she mentioned, but actively participate in sex trafficking. Jeffrey Epstein was an example. Robert Kraft was arrested not far from here on trafficking charges. And so we, in terms of this as a grassroots movement to push to combat against this issue, are these power players a priority for us right now? Can we even touch them? Or is this a pipe dream that we need to address in the future somehow?
You know, it's like everything. You know, it hides in plain sight. Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him.
We all knew about him. We all knew about him. It's illegal to know about child abuse. Illegal in American law, state law and federal law, especially if you're a representative of the government, to not report these crimes to law enforcement. How could it be that she knew and her husband knew and they never came forward? What were they scared of? What were they scared of? What were they scared of? I'll leave you to answer that rhetorically. I'm fucking pissed. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of catching up to do. I want to thank you as we approach 100,000. I think tomorrow we will celebrate 100,000 subscribers. I'm going to be hosting an event in New York City on October 25th. It's called The Comeback Team. I'm curating it as we speak. If you want to meet up with me, you want to come to one of my first events since I became a famous podcaster, it's going to be an awesome event of inspiration, of motivation, and of amazing success stories. We're going to get to hang out. I'm going to have different calibers of access to me, VIP packages where we go to dinner after and hang out, as long as you're not a fucking creep. And I'm really looking forward to it. So if you're in the New York City area or you want to visit, maybe you come in on the 25th of October and stay the whole week. Halloween's crazy in New York, something to see. Maybe you make a week out of it. You start the week with me and you end the week looking at all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Might be the last time you ever see it, the way the world's going these days. I appreciate all of you, your support. There's no amount of support that doesn't help, whether it's a share, a like, a comment, a donation. It all helps. I appreciate all of you. I will continue to pump out the content. And like I said, I've been traveling a lot, but I'm back in the home studio. I'll be pumping out pods every day pretty much. And I'll be releasing some specials. And I hope to continue to make you proud. With that said, thank you for your help, your support. And this is your boy, Bek Lover. The truth is out there. We must continue to try and get that truth out to the rest of the world. It's our job. This is Bek Lover signing off on this live broadcast of the Bek Lover podcast. Available where all podcasts are available. Ciao.